I find this whole story pretty ridiculous. I'm not a big fan of the honours system. I never have been. But all I would say is this. Can you imagine the fuss there would be amongst particularly the newspapers on the right that have been banging this for all it's worth if the Queen, and this isn't the government offering a knighthood, this is the Queen offering a knighthood to Tony Blair, and he'd said no. Can you imagine? And so I really think, and for all these people on the left who are signing this petition, I mean, of all the things that you could be campaigning on at the moment, with the energy crisis, with the massive rise in food bank news, with all the lying over Brexit, with all the stuff that Boris Johnson gets up to, the idea that this is the big thing that, you know, gets you out of bed in the morning. And I've got to say, as I say, I'm not a fan of the honour system. I think Tony Blair, one of the things I really like about Tony, I don't believe he's status conscious at all. I think he'd have perfectly been happy to go through his entire life as Mr. Tony Blair, not the sort of thing that bothers him. But I also think that if you look at some of the stuff that he did as Prime Minister, and I know that people attack him over Iraq, and that's what a lot of the petition is about, but if you're talking about somebody who, just what he did in Northern Ireland alone, puts him in the top rank. And if I look through the list of a lot of people who have got honours, I think, well, you know, if we have an argument every time we don't think somebody should or should, I just find the whole thing kind of pretty absurd, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing is that the mums of people who died don't find it absurd, Carol, do they? That's the point.
No, it's exactly right. I mean, I would expect Alastair to say that. But, I mean, I think the bottom line is, you know, we all loved Tony Blair until his third term. I was a Labour voter until Tony Blair's third term, and then he took us into, well, and before that he took us into Afghanistan and Iraq. We lost more than 600 soldiers and military personnel. A lot of those families are still suffering. A lot of the people who came back injured are still suffering because they feel it was a needless war and that we were taken into it because of Blair's adoration for George Bush, you know, that I will be with you, whatever letter. So, you know, I think a lot of people are upset. And this decision to give him a knighthood will never be popular with the British public because, you know, let's not forget as well, you know, he pardoned IRA terrorists while British soldiers were still facing charges. People will not forgive him for that either. And I think Alastair says he's not bothered about the knighthood. Well, if he's not bothered, refuse it. Don't have it. And there was something that I read, and Alastair may know more about this than me, that this Order of the Garter, which is the top order you can have, can only be awarded if the person who it's been given to is willing to reveal their tax status. It's just something I read the other day. I don't know if it's true or not. Alastair might know better than me. And he didn't want to reveal his tax status because he was working and earning millions for Middle Eastern despots. So, you know, I would like clarification on that. Is that true?
Well, I mean, Blair's tax, that's a whole other avenue. He just. Well,
let me say, I mean, if I may say so, Carol, that is what I call a pretty low tactic. When when you come on national live television and say, I don't know if this is true, but I'll throw it out there anyway. I haven't got a clue. All I know is that Tony Blair. You say, and what I can't stand, I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody thinks Tony Blair was a marvellous Prime Minister, but the way that you sit there and think that you speak for the entire country, Britain will never this. You just said that. You just said that the country will never.
Hang on, Carol.
Well, because why have 1 million people signed a petition? Because, as I said earlier, some people hate the guy. Some people will never forgive him for Iraq. Some people, as you say, loved him and then didn't. And I was doing an event in a theatre with Matt Ford, the comedian, on Monday night. When Matt, he's a comedian, he came on, he did a whole great thing about how he's really happy that Tony Blair's got a knighthood because it upsets all the right people. And you know, there are other people, Carol, who have other opinions.
Right,
and I go around.
Alastair. Wait, one sec, Carol. Sorry.
Yes, I know that. I know that. But Carol, I probably know more. No, Jeremy, let me just deal with this nonsense.
Okay.
When can you say that? It upsets the right
it's
people.
Nonsense.
You're quoting a comic when families are grieving still from the people they lost.
Carol, just calm down a bit. I probably know more
like
people.
You know everything, Alastair. It's what you do.
I don't.
You know?
I don't. Listen, I'm the one person who said right at the start, I'm accepting part of your argument. Just listen and hear me through. I probably know more people. I probably know more people who were involved in that situation and who have come back from it in all sorts of states than you do. Now, I accept there are some people who will never forgive Tony Blair, but don't say from that either that it means he was a terrible prime minister, because he wasn't, and he did a lot of good things for this country, and don't try to say. And don't try to say either that because some people are terribly upset about him, it means that the whole country...
here. OK, we both said it, and clearly there are mums who lost sons who were not, I'm assuming, included in the comment by Matt Ford that it upsets the right people. I'm hoping not.